你好，我是郎志明，美国在台协会代理发言人, and welcome to this edition of Three Questions. We're very thrilled today to have with us Elbridge Colby. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Elbridge is the former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Strategy and Force Development from 2017 to 18, and we're thrilled to have him with us today. Welcome.
Well, I think Taiwan can play a really valuable and important role in the U.S. Indo-Pacific vision, which is, of course, a vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific. Of course, Taiwan is a model democracy in the region and a free economy and a free market. And I think the basic logic of the free and open Indo-Pacific idea is that countries and peoples in the Indo-Pacific area should be able to chart their own future and decide their own trajectories without the shadow of coercion falling over them, and that's from any state. Of course, today we see that the People's Republic of China is increasingly using military, economic, and political coercive leverage to try to force other countries to go in a direction they don't want to go. And I think Taiwan, of course, experiences that essentially more than anyone else. And so Taiwan can play a very important role in this vision by standing up for its own freedom, for its own decision and ability to chart its own course, and a confident ability to move into the future, and of course in partnership with the United States and other like-minded countries in the region. And one element I'd like to stress in this effort is the importance of Taiwan's lethal and resilient defense, that Taiwan needs to be able to have the ability to help defend itself in a very meaningful way. Of course, the United States, under the Taiwan Relations Act, is committed to helping Taiwan defend itself, and it stands opposed to the use of coercion by anyone else to determine the future of the people on Taiwan. But I think those two things are linked. The more people in the United States and elsewhere see that Taiwan is taking steps to defend itself, that it's ready to be resilient and resolute in the face of coercion by the People's Republic of China, the more likely they are to stand by and with Taiwan to try to expand its representation, its activity in appropriate international fora. Well, there are a lot of things about Taiwan that are really impressive. I mean, one of the things is just the kind of the vibrancy and the dynamism of the political life and on the island of Taiwan. Of course, as many of us know, and all people on Taiwan know, for many years Taiwan was not a democracy, and to go in such a short amount of time, less than a generation's time, to such a comfortable transition of power between the two political parties, as well as the smaller political parties, and a really very robust political discussion it's really impressive. And I think it's actually really impressive and important for the people in the United States. I mean, in a sense, a lot of what the free and open Indo-Pacific idea is about is what's the story of the future of the Indo-Pacific. And Taiwan, of course, offers one vision of that future, and that's a vision of people determining their own future, arguing things out in public, and in a fair way, the rule of law, free trade, free markets, and not using force to coerce other people or to try to establish a hegemony over the region. And I think that's what really, for me as a specialist in strategy and defense, I'm really most impressed by Taiwan's demonstration of that. And also by, my impression is that the people on Taiwan are very committed to securing and safeguarding their freedom and democracy. And that's, of course, through resistance to political influence, but also the military threat that, of course, the People's Liberation Army has been growing by leaps and bounds over the last 25 years. But it seems to me that the people on Taiwan are really committed to that, and I think that's really vital because, the people in the United States are going to look at the commitment and the willingness to sacrifice, whether that's for a defense budget or whether that's, God forbid, in the event of conflict. They're going to look at the willingness of the people on Taiwan to do these things to see how willing we are to risk our people in the event we would consider coming to the defense of Taiwan.
All right. Well, Elbridge, thank you so much
for
being with us today on Three Questions.
Yeah, good to be here.
That concludes this session of Three Questions. Shots to Jen. Bye-bye.